Hello again to everyone out there in the community, and welcome again to another segment of From the Desk of. I am Tim Moody. I am the Public Information Officer with the Randolph County School System, and I'm here with Dr. Stephen Gainey, our superintendent, for our monthly interview and to update our community on all the great things that are going on in the Randolph County School System. And Dr. Gainey, as we sit here, we're about 12 days removed from the first day of school. A lot been going on this summer, and we've talked about several things over our last few interviews. We had a board meeting a couple of days ago, and some important things came out of that meeting, including some administrative announcements. So this might be a good time just to update folks on what happened there.
Well, Tim, we did. We had 3 people appointed the other night. Administratively, we have a vacancy right now in the assistant principal position that's shared between Level Cross Elementary and Franklinville Elementary. And so starting on the 18th, Emily Lay, who's a former employee with our school system, retired several years ago, will serve as a 50% assistant principal at Level Cross from August 18th until the end of October. And then over at Franklinville Elementary, Cindy Squires, another retiree from our school system and another successful employee from our school system, will serve as the 50% part-time assistant principal from August 18th until the end of October. So that's good. It gives us some time to work through that vacancy for a permanent replacement. The vacancy just occurred in the last couple weeks, so both principals wanted to take some time and make sure they didn't rush, and I fully support that. And then we did have a permanent hire the other night as well. John Shelton has been hired. There was a vacancy that's developed in the last couple of weeks at Randolph High School as an assistant principal, and he'll be coming to us from Montgomery County Schools and actually returning to us. And he's been with us before, and right now we do not know when he's going to start because we've got to wait on the other school system. But we were able to take that action on Monday night and feel really good. Feel really good about bringing Emily Lay and Cindy Squires back. They were very successful here, and they'll help us, and looking forward to having them back with us for some time.
So now when this particular segment is broadcast, school will have already started, but as we sit here, it's August 17th, and teachers return tomorrow. So if you could, just give us a little bit of a view of what's going to be happening in schools here over these next 12 days as teachers return and preparations are made for a new school year. If someone were to walk into a school over the next 12 days, what's the kind of things they would see happening?
Well, at the schools you're going to see at some point in the next couple of days, whether it be tomorrow or Friday, it might be as late as Monday, but I'd say in the next 3 days you'll see opening faculty meeting with the staff, led by the principal and administrators and other leaders on the campus. And then you're also going, in those faculty meetings will be some very important information, and such as maybe some policy information or schedule for the upcoming week, and different procedures for starting the school year when the kids get there. And then throughout the week, throughout the next 12 days or so, what you're going to also see is small group meetings throughout the buildings, whether it be by grade level or subject area, teachers planning together, sharing strategies, reviewing data. Many of them have probably already reviewed a lot of data because teachers are always looking for ways to help kids, and so there's a lot of teachers that really tomorrow is not the first time they're thinking about the 16-17 school year. You also, if you go through the office areas, you're going to see people enrolling. We'll still have students coming in enrolling, so the office staff and the counseling staff will be involved with that, and scheduling those students. And then next week you're going to have a round of, or 3 rounds of open houses. On Tuesday night will be the middle school open houses. On Wednesday night, the high school open houses countywide or school system wide. And then on Thursday night will be the elementary open houses. So you'll see a lot of that, and parents coming in and out of the building. So the excitement energy builds starting tomorrow. It builds all the way to the 29th of August when we kick off, when the kids come. And so a lot of stuff will go on in the next 10, 12 days, if you want to look at it that way, or you want to say really 7 days of work starting this week, 2 days, and then the 5 days next week. So.
Now, I've never been a teacher, but I would suspect that for those first-time teachers going into school tomorrow for the first time, there's going to be some nerves. There's going to be some, some nervousness, and maybe if you could take us back to your first day, or maybe give us some insight as to what a first day teacher is feeling, and then as a principal or a school leader, how you would help that new teacher.
Well, there's obviously going to be some anxiety. I mean, we often think about the students having anxiety the first day of school, particularly when they're starting a new level of school, whether it be starting kindergarten, middle school, or high school. But, teachers are going to feel that way too. Even, when you go into a new area and you picture, you go into a faculty meeting, there's a lot of people that know each other, and you don't know hardly anybody there. So, as a principal, I think the biggest focus I always tried to put out there was, let's get around these new people and help them feel welcome and make sure they know we appreciate that they joined us. I've always thought we do, as a state, we need to do a better job of thanking teachers for joining us, because teachers are coming to help us with our journey towards continuous improvement, and we need to make sure we're saying thank you to them, that they picked our school system or they picked our state instead of other states or other school systems. But it really, the comfort level increases, I believe, when the teachers do get into the small groups, and they, I can remember my first day. Went to a big faculty meeting, and I'm sitting there, and the school was very big. There was about 200 staff members there, and I'm listening to the principal, and a lot of stuff early on till you see it play out doesn't make a lot of sense. But all the anxiety and all the nervousness went away when we left that faculty meeting and we went to a math department meeting, which then went from 200 teachers to about 20. And then from that went to small group meetings, and I was in the Algebra 1 group of teachers, the teachers teaching Algebra 1, and we started planning together. And then things started kind of easing out. You get your feet up under you and you feel comfortable, and it's all about new surroundings. It's just like that, we think about that with students, but it's just like that with the teachers. And the teachers who enjoy this business, I will guarantee you, if you ask them, I'll be willing to go at 95+% of them say one of the things that made it enjoyable was they had colleagues who were supportive and helped them adjust. I had one mentor teacher, Betty Buffington. But I had Joan Thomas, Barbara Blaylock, Joe Lapp, Bob Wolf, Mark Schinkelberg, Joe Brogdon, you name it. I had all these other teachers, Athena Kellogg, Pam Davis, all these teachers that put their arms around me and helped me adjust to that scene. And I go back, all those teachers, and only one was my assigned mentor. It takes more than just a mentor, and that's what happens when in a school setting. It becomes very much like a family, and the collegiality is tremendous.
And although school hasn't started yet, there are still school things that are going on, namely athletics. I know have started. We've had volleyball games and soccer matches, and this Friday night, high school football kicks off. And that's always an exciting time, and all of our high schools are going to be playing. But we have a special commemoration that's going to be taking place at one of our high schools at Eastern Randolph. So could you just kind of update us on what's going on there?
Well, to begin with, let's talk about the activities. It's great to see the kids getting pulled back into their activities with the soccer and the volleyball and cheerleading and band, and that's kind of the preschool year. They start bringing the kids start coming back to the campuses, and that's where the excitement starts rising. And then you get to that first Friday night football game, and I've always felt like that is such a wonderful event, because you have the football players, you have the cheerleaders, you have the band out there, you have the student body, you have the larger community. And I mean, talk about an event that brings everybody together. But yes, we're going to have a special night at Eastern Randolph High School on Friday night, and by the time this airs, it will have already passed. But I'm looking forward to seeing Coach Burton Cates. He's a legend in this area. He's a legend in the state of North Carolina high school football, and I am a huge high school football fan for North Carolina high school football, and I don't know that any state does it as good as this state does with high school athletics, and high school football is about as exciting an event as there is. But Burton Cates is a legend, and when you start thinking about the things that can happen to somebody in their career, to have a stadium named after you, that is huge for an individual and her family, and so I'm so excited. That community loves Burton Cates. I always try. for 3+ years, I've worked hard to try to learn our different communities in this school system, and I'm so looking forward to seeing them embrace a guy that they talk about all the time, and it made a great impression on many kids, many adults. I'm just that's exciting. Friday night at halftime will be very exciting to see a true legend, educator, coach, be acknowledged and rewarded for a job well done, and he is a star. No, hands down, he's a star. I mean, he's in a group of high school football coaches that we only hope we can keep going in North Carolina what they have all done for us. He's in that special class. So it will be exciting out there, and looking forward just to see the Eastern Randolph community be excited, and I just, it's going to be a special night.
If we could go back to the board meeting from a couple of days ago, a number of other things came out of that meeting, including the approval of our budget. And I know there were a couple of highlights in that you would want to talk about.
Well, first of all, I want to just say thank you to our board. I mean, they continue to walk with us step by step, and we're working together. I love to sit at the board table, I can tell you, and listen to the conversation on different topics. You know, some topics there's less conversation, but others, I mean, the conversation among the 7 board members is exciting to me because, you know, if you want to have a successful school system, you've got to have dialogue. And so hats off to the board. They start with this process, they really do. I think it's the March meeting, we bring it to them in work session, the budget, what we're going to propose. Then in April, we bring it back after discussion and they approve it. Then we take it to the county manager's office. Then we present to the commissioners. And end of June, the commissioners approve and tell us what they can and can't fund. And there again, there's that other group, the commissioners. I can't think of anywhere I could be as fortunate as a superintendent than the Randolph County School System to be able to go in the boardroom with the 7 board members I work with every day and that team. And then all of a sudden you've got the group that provides funding for us, local funding, the county commissioners. Enjoy working with them. But a highlight, we've been working at some things and the commissioners have really been behind us. I think I've mentioned on previous videos that we didn't ask for any more capital outlay money because they fully funded that 9-year plan through last year's budget. So we've increased our capital outlay money by $750,000 annually. And this year we went in and we were still after that teacher supplement. Could we get it moving? For the first time since '07, you know, everybody knows what the state's been through and the country's been through economically since around that time. And the county commissioners have said to me, we're going to do something, and they helped us get it done. So the other night we were able to present to the board, we moved the local supplement for the first time since '07. We moved every employee supplement up by 0.25%. You know, it's progress. We're going to keep working at it. And I think, I feel in my heart that a lot of people see the need there. A lot of our leaders see that we've got to keep working at it. And, you know, in the last 3 years now, on that side of the house, $825,000 increased in funding on the current expense side. So really, thank you. The paper picked it up about the increase. And, you know, to our employees, we've talked about it. They know we've made these requests, and I'm just happy for them too because they've been patient, and I think we're building a big team here of our school system employees, our Board of Education, and our county commissioners, and I think the sky's the limit for what happens in this school system moving forward in many areas, including resources.
So Dr. Gainey, I'd like to get your thoughts on something that I've observed, and I know you have as well. You know, this is the time of year where there are any number of school supply drives. Churches and organizations come together, and it really stands out to me how many people in our community donate to our school. We had a group just this past weekend that had 700 book bags full of supplies that were donated to students. I know we have a church up in the Archdale Trinity area that's providing supplies for kindergartners, and the list just goes on and on. But could you just speak for a moment to the benevolence in our community? And I know you've seen it, as I have, just what it means to a community and to a school system to have that type of support in place.
Well, I hope, and you're right, and that caught my attention pretty early when I moved here. And it's community wide. It's just not this school system. I mean, I'll go out to different things in the community and learn of this drive and that drive, and what we're doing with the Partnership for Children, like the gala. I'm on that board, but I've been just totally blown away by the partnership gala they have every year. United Way, just a lot of different things that go on here. And I think it's a real tribute to this community and the people in this community. One of my easiest topics to talk about here is just the good nature of this community, whether it be, it doesn't matter where you go. This is a pretty big community. I'm talking about the Randolph County community. Mm-hmm. I'm not just talking about Asheboro or the Southwest Zone or the Eastern Zone. I'm talking about comprehensive community. The Randleman community. I mean, people pretty much, if they can do it to help you, they're going to, whether it be the schools or another group of people. But when you get down to the schools, I appreciate that our kids are on everybody's radar, and the needs of our kids are on everybody's radar, it seems. And I'm blown away by some of the things I hear. And when you put out the community partner list every year, just looking through there, and you're looking through some groups that are hitting a bunch of schools, or many groups are hitting a bunch of schools. So, Tim, I think it's something we just need to be very mindful of and never be short on thank yous, because it's like I've talked to the principals. Improvement in your school should not be qualified by, well, your school got better by 10 points and your school got better by 5. Improvement's improvement, and help's help. So whether you give us 5 book bags for kids, or you give us 25 book bags for kids, or you give us, snacks, and it's one group gives this amount and one group gives this, it doesn't matter. Helping is helping. And, I hope this community understands how appreciated that is. My first fall here, I didn't know a whole lot that was going on, and I learned of a church that was providing food for a large number of children at one of our schools. And I didn't know it. And the people doing it did not seek me out to make me aware of it. I learned it in a conversation about a totally different topic. And that triggered my kind of, what else is going on out here? And honestly, there's so much going on for schools by community groups trying to help us. You couldn't keep up with it if you tried. There's that much going on, whether it be in Asheboro, and it would do the chamber does stuff. You couldn't keep up with it. Mm-hmm. And that's a great problem to have. And it's not, I say a problem, it's not a problem. It's a great development to have for a community. And I go back to what I said about our budget. Don't forget, we've been through a pretty tough economic climate, and we're not out of it yet. We're not out of it yet, and no one has said, okay, well, the economy's like it is and things happen, so let's take a break. You don't see that in this county. You don't see it anywhere. And so I'm really proud of that, and I'm really grateful for what people do for our schools and for our kids, because our kids have a chance. They've got a great chance to grow and have successful lives, and a lot of it has to do with the basic community's foundation, which is one of helping people.
So again, August 29th, first day of school. Let me just ask you this: what does a successful first day of school look like? At the end of the day, on August 29th, when you look back on the first day and you say, that was a good first day of school because...
I think school has changed over time, but then I don't know. You think it's changed because you look at it and what you remembered as a child, and maybe it didn't really play out that way on the first day like you thought it did. But a successful first day of school is, we have instruction. We don't spend a lot of time getting into instruction. The state doesn't say, okay, take day 1 off, just hang out at the school. They don't say that. Yeah. They don't, and think about the high schools. The first day of the second semester, you just don't take the day off. So why take the first day of the first semester off? So a successful day to me is that the students come in, we engage in instruction pretty early. And I was a principal, one thing I used to time, the first day of school, I'd walk the building and I was very curious, how long it took us to engage in instruction the first day. I stress with teachers when I was a principal, now I stress with principals as a superintendent, let's don't spend the first day or the first 2 days reading rules to children. Let's raise our expectations. If we're going to put them out there, they'll read them, we'll review them, but we're going to have school. And Dennis Hamilton and I talk all the time about having school. I've said that, let's have school. And he's come back to me before and said, we got to have school. We get to have school a lot of days in the Randolph County School System. And a lot of that has to do with the homes our kids come from. Mm-hmm. Parents, I believe the kids, when they come to school, they know what the expectation is from their home about you're going to do at school what's expected of you. But that first day is pretty important. Let's see how quick we can get instruction going. And that's a great day. When I hear that we've had sound instruction and we didn't spend the whole morning reading rules, that's a successful first day.
Right. So as summer winds down and we get ready for school, any more thoughts about the new school year to kind of wrap up our interview here and wrap up our summer?
Well, Tim, what I will always continue to focus on is, I want our school system to continue to get better. I believe we are getting better, and we're going to keep working on that. But same token is I want us to continue to work to continue to earn the trust of our community. That, to me, they go hand in hand. If your school system is going to keep getting better, we have to earn the trust and maintain the trust of the community that we're doing what needs to happen for kids, so that when they graduate from our schools, that they have a chance to have a very successful future. So those two things will always be heavy on my mind. Every year, help us, can we keep getting better, and can we continue to earn and maintain the trust of the community in what we're doing every day with kids?
Dr. Gainey, thank you. And thank you to our community for your continued support of our school system. We talked about it today. We do live in a great community, and we're proud of this community, and we're proud to be a part of the Randolph County School System. We're grateful to Randolph Communications each month for allowing us to come before you and share with you the great things that are going on here. So that's it for summer. We'll see you with the new school year in September, and we're looking forward to that. Thank you so much.